Okay. Hello, friends. Welcome back to How Come. This is episode 20, and it's a very exciting episode. And I've done no lead up to it because I didn't really think it was ever going to happen. And I'm so excited. My guest today is an amazing stand-up comedian. He started the show Fat Baby, and he's my boyfriend. Yay! Give it up for Ben DeMarco.
Hey, Remy. Thanks for having me on your show.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for coming on my show.
No problem.
People always ask your point of view, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do they ever ask you in person?
Yeah.
What's like the meanest thing anyone's ever said to you about the pod?
I don't know.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing really.
You just wouldn't want to tell me because it would hurt my feelings?
No one really says anything mean.
They just say nice things?
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of, like, I know one person in particular who always wrote on my shit being like, it's 'cause of Ben.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just kind of a hack joke, I think. So anybody that's like, oh, it's Ben, yeah. Anybody that's saying that, like, isn't very good in the first place, so.
Isn't very good at sex?
Isn't very good at being funny.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh, baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Yeah, so this month is very exciting because I got my first sponsor.
Right, yeah.
Womanizer.
Yeah, they sent something in the mail. Yeah.
Yep. And I just used the new thing. I tried it when you were out at the meeting.
Nice. How's the new thing?
It was interesting.
By the way, Womanizer, great product. Thank you, Womanizer.
Yeah,
Yes.
yay.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
fun. Yeah, would you say it's improved our relationship?
Yeah, most definitely. Once you have an orgasm, like, it's good.
There's a lot less stress.
Yeah, it's great.
I have to say, one of the most romantic things that's ever happened in my life was Ben and I were banging, and I was like, pass me my thing. And he was like, yeah, let's get that thing in here.
Yeah, the Womanizer.
And it was really nice to be
Yeah.
like, cared for.
Yeah, man. Well, we can use whatever you want, whatever gets you off, babe.
That's what's been the thing so far.
That seems to be working.
Yeah. So anyway, the new one is cool. It's like 12 levels instead of 6.
Interesting.
There's this thing called autopilot, and it just has like a bunch of modes that it goes through.
Oh, like a massage chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not shaped like a lipstick. This one is shaped like, I showed it to you.
Yeah, it's very
like,
modern art.
Very modern art, and it's like good for laying on your stomach.
Oh.
Because it just sits right there.
That makes sense now that I think about the shape of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little cup. All right. Anyway, I'm very excited to interview our guests today.
Tell me about them.
Thanks, Ben. You're so good at radio.
Yeah.
So Toni is a 50-year-old woman who lives in Washington State, and she's a fan of the show.
Do you know where in Washington State? Well, I'll ask her when we talk to her, because
Yeah.
I'm from Portland. We're right next to Washington.
Really?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Maybe 20-minute drive.
Yeah, no, I know. It's Twilight.
Yeah, sure.
Twilight took place in Washington, but they filmed in Portland.
I've never watched a Twilight movie all the way through.
Maybe that explains why you wouldn't reenact it with me when we were in Portland.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just thought you thought it was like lame.
Well, yeah.
Well, that too. Anyway, so Toni hadn't had an orgasm. She listens to this podcast. She bought a womanizer, and I think it was like a week ago she had her first orgasm.
At a girl, Toni.
Yeah. So we're going to interview her and her husband, Chuck.
All right.
And yeah, I don't know. Everybody would always be like, oh, how does Ben feel? I'm like, how does Chuck feel?
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, let's call them and figure it out.
Put them on the phone.
Okay.
Line 1.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Remy.
Hi, Chuck.
How's it going?
It's good. Hi, Toni.
Hi, Remy.
How are you?
We're good.
I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Oh my God. Hi, dog.
Dogs outside.
2 dogs.
I don't even know what they're barking at, probably because I hear a different voice. Come on. Outside. Out.
Are they
They're
going to
like,
get
"Oh,
killed by
Mom."
mountain lions if they go out in the evening because you're in such a wilderness place?
No, we're not out in the country.
Where are
or
you?
that could be a possibility.
Totally. I'm sitting here with my boyfriend, Ben.
Hi, Chuck and Tony.
Hi, Ben.
Hi. What part of Washington do you guys live in?
So we're in Olympia.
Oh, excellent. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so I've been over there a
Nice.
few times. Yeah.
All right. So you guys, how has your life improved since, how long was it ago?
Yeah, I need to know the
Well,
story.
My life has improved immensely.
Right?
And so has mine.
There we go, Chuck. That's what I'm talking about. I feel you, man.
Our life has changed a lot, actually, and it's really cool because I owe a lot of it to, well, first off, Toni for actually doing something about never having an orgasm.
Yeah.
And Remy for actually having a venue for her to discover.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks.
holy crap.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, I mean, it makes me so happy. Was this like the first time that you guys had ever, like, because you've been together for how long?
12 years.
12
Wow.
years. Okay. And when did you meet? How did you meet?
This is a great story, actually.
Really?
So back in the day, 12 years ago, Match.com was not a thing, but Yahoo Personals was.
What?
And yeah, Yahoo Personals.
Okay.
So I was recently divorced after a horrible 20-year marriage and
Where you weren't coming, understood.
not looking for a husband, just looking to, just have some fun because I'd been with asshole for 20 years.
Yeah.
So we don't speak his name. He's just asshole.
Okay.
And so I was out on my own, living in an apartment, working 3 jobs, trying to keep my head above water. Didn't have cable or anything. I had the internet. And so at night I would sit and play cards on Yahoo game site.
Okay.
And over in the margin one night, it was advertising Yahoo Personals, try a week for free, 7 days for free. And I thought, oh, I could do that. 7 days for free. I don't have money.
I've got 7 days. Yeah.
But I could do 7 days for free. So I made a profile and got on there, and I met a few guys, and Chuck happened to be scrolling. So he was on Yahoo Personals for a whole entirely different reason.
What was the
Which is a
reason?
really-
Yeah.
It's
So my reason was I was recently divorced as well,
Okay.
and
Is her name Twat?
so I retired. I retired from the Army, and I went through a divorce, and I filed for bankruptcy all at the same time, and all as I was turning 40. So my life was just in a total chaos.
Okay.
So I moved up here to Washington to be with my family after I retired because I didn't really have a place to go. But my ex-wife was still in Arkansas, and she still had a vehicle that had to be repossessed in my bankruptcy that she
Okay.
was hiding from me.
It's so confusing.
It is confusing. So I got on Yahoo Personals because I knew she was on Yahoo Personals because that's how she was messing around.
What?
I put myself on there as a fake profile.
You don't tell me you got you catfished.
Did you catfish your wife?
Did you catfish Toni?
Yep.
Oh my God! He had a picture of John Stamos as his profile picture.
Actually, I used my brother-in-law, a picture of him when he was young. He was actually a pretty good-looking guy, and set this profile up
That's
knowing
such a
exactly what he
random
was
thing
looking
to
for.
do.
Well, I mean, it led to something good, apparently. Although it is the most batshit story I've ever heard.
Wait, so Toni fell in love with your brother-in-law's younger photo.
No.
Okay.
No,
No, it was mine.
so when he was on there, he happened to come across my profile and my picture, and he thought, oh, she's really cute, but I can't reach out to her as Guitar Zan.
Guitar Zan.
So then I did make my own real profile. And so the reason I was on there as Guitarzan was to trap my ex-wife into a date, and then
Send the repo guy.
John, the repo guy, would be there.
Oh, whoa.
I like the plan. I like it.
No, but I've seen that in movies and stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. But anyway, I saw Tony's cute little face on there, and I was like, I can't do it as Guitarzan. I would really actually like to meet her. So I made my own profile, and it was a 7-day free thing, so I made my own profile.
What was that username?
Old Sarge.
Yeah, Old Sarge.
Nice.
That's-
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Not Guitarzan.
So we kind of connected right as our
7 days
were ending. So I had to pay $28.95 to send a message to her.
There you go.
And then I had to pay $28.95
To open it?
His message says, "Well, I had to pay $28.95 to get your number to be able to email you. So I hope it was worth it." And I thought, oh, that's just the sweetest thing. So okay, so I'll pay $28.95. The poor guy,
So that's how we
So
connected.
that's how we connected.
That is hilarious.
And the car got repoed, but not through that process.
Okay, yeah, I was curious about the whole car situation. How long before?
So my other ex-wife was a cop.
All right, hang on, back
Wait,
up. How many ex-wives do you have?
He has 3 ex-wives.
Oh my
Chuck,
Chuck.
Charles, my friend.
I
When
started
did you
early.
start marrying women? Yeah.
I just turned 19
Wow.
to my high school sweetheart.
Okay,
And
that's
that didn't
sweet.
last long.
I'm
That
glad you
lasted
didn't
a
say
couple
cousin or
years,
something.
And then,
Your high school cousin.
That's all right. Excellent. Sorry to cut you off.
yeah, that's all right. So high school sweetheart, married her. I was new in the Army. We went overseas. I wasn't around much. Didn't give her a lot of attention.
So
She found somebody
someone
else.
who did.
Gotcha.
And good on her. She's still married to him. They have 2 beautiful grown kids now, and it's great. But
Nice.
so then I ran into and met my second wife, who I was married to for 13 years. Who
Where'd you meet her, honey?
I met her in a bar
With who?
with her boyfriend and her husband.
Chuck, you're so messy.
Hey, it was a challenge. What can I say? I was up for a challenge.
Okay, and how many of these wives were having orgasms regularly?
One,
One.
my first
The
wife.
first one.
Okay. And could you tell, because Ben's only in his early 30s. He's going to be 32
Right.
next month. You've been banging a
Right.
lot longer. Can you tell when it's happening, or can you spot a fake?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
It's all about the pelvic muscles.
What do you mean?
I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it in the muscles in the pelvis. They try to push you out.
Oh, like pulsing on the inside.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
Ben, do you concur?
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's some change in pressure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tightening.
Yeah, tightening.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel that sometimes. I don't know.
And a huge change in the amount of wetness. Moisture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a huge change in that. I mean, there's no fake. There's no fake. And I've experienced fake orgasms.
Have you ever faked an orgasm, Chuck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have
There
you
go,
been?
Chuck. Yeah, I've faked a few
Yeah, I feel
orgasms
like
myself.
Yeah.
I've never faked an orgasm with Toni. I can tell you that.
There you
But
go.
I have.
That a girl, Tony.
Have
nice.
you faked one with me? No.
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
see that.
No, I don't think so.
Tony, were you
Yes.
married to this many people before?
No,
Just
the
the
one
one
asshole.
for 20 years. Okay.
Just the one asshole, yep.
In
I was with
high-
him from the time I was 18 till I was 38.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And were you ever trying to get off by yourself before?
No.
Was that a talked about thing?
It didn't occur to me. It never occurred to me
Yeah.
until probably we stopped having sex probably 2 years before I got the guts to leave. So when we weren't having sex, then I did, but I didn't get anywhere with myself.
What were you trying before you found the womanizer?
Just masturbating, just myself, and
Hands
I
on.
I had a couple of dildos, but
They don't. Who uses?
Since I've had those, that's been a Chuck and I kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've probably played with those a little bit on my own, but not very often.
Did you go through all the How Come assignments?
I did not.
No, just straight to womanizer.
No. So when you episode 6, when you finally had one, I thought, okay, that's it. I've just made up my mind that this is going to happen. If it can happen for Remy, God damn it, it can happen for me.
That's awesome.
So I ordered that, and
It's our new best friend.
I know. That's how I feel too.
she's my new best friend. I love her.
I do too.
So I got it, and I couldn't wait I had to wait a day. And
Where'd you buy, online or? Yeah.
yeah, I just got it online.
Okay.
So Chuck was leaving, and I said, okay, I gotta do this myself. I don't want you to be in the house. He was going over to my daughter's house, and
did he know that? Chuck, did you listen to How Come before? Like, did you know that she was on a quest?
Oh yeah. We had a lot. So when she started listening to your podcast, we had taken a trip to go camping, I think, and it was a 3-hour drive over the mountains. And she said, "I want you to listen to these."
Oh my God!
And at first I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So we started listening, and by episode 3, I was like, "Hurry up, get number 4."
That's awesome.
He was hooked. He was in.
I was on. And
yeah, that's awesome. Remy has a lot of good male followers,
trip,
I think.
Yeah.
I was full in on this. We had some great conversations on that weekend about it, and was just like, let's do this because really, I had almost accepted the fact that she would never have an orgasm, and it was just
as had I.
Yeah, same.
And, and sex with us was just starting to just be crap. To be honest with you, it was
and very.
Because it's like so much pressure every time you're like, is this the time that we're going to figure it out?
Yeah.
That's how I felt, at least.
And,
did you feel like that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, there was always pressure, to make your girl come, and it was always a thought in the back of my head, and once it happens, it's just great. It's a whole new open field, new ball game.
Did you ever think that I might not be able to?
Yeah, I definitely thought that it might not ever happen. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too. It's scary. I'm so happy. Like the other day, I don't even remember what did I say it? But I was just like, oh, it's so cool that I know what that feels like now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm in a club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I left the house, and she was like, I got to do this on my own. I'm like, you do it, baby.
That's
my
awesome.
And then I'd been gone 20 minutes, and she sends me a picture of a soaking wet towel.
I got the same photo.
I got the same text, Chuck. I got the same text.
And I was just almost crashed the truck. I was
Yeah,
driving.
wow.
I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Seriously?
Wow, technology, huh? God bless
I couldn't wait to
technology.
get back home.
Which one did you get? The lipstick
The
one or
lipstick. Yeah.
the lipstick?
Looks cool.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
The lipstick one's cool. I like the lipstick one.
Yeah.
They all look cool. I just tried this new one that they just sent me because it's coming out, I think, in America in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's got like 12 settings instead of the lipstick 6. It's pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah, but it's also like a different shape. So, and I was like initially like, why would I ever need 2 of these? And it's just like a different fun experience.
We could have used a second last night.
Chuck.
Why?
Nice.
Yeah, I needed a backup. I was just getting there, and the goddamn battery died.
No.
I was like, oh no.
Do you ever put it on your
He was
boob?
very kind about it. He was like, okay. So
Wait, what did you just ask, Remy?
You don't go, I don't go. So he didn't either.
Oh, there, Adam boy, you what a gentleman, Chuck. Now let me ask you this: did he excuse himself to the restroom for an extended amount of time afterward, or what? What was
that again?
No, I'm just joking around. Remy, what question did you just ask?
I said, have you ever put it on your boob?
Not on my boob, but I put it on his penis.
You did?
Now there you go.
Yeah.
That we have not tried.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
I was like, you have to just try to understand just a little bit of what this is like for me, and so he gets it.
I get it. It's
so
pretty awesome.
Cool. It's like a unisex toy.
Well, I'm gonna have to give that a go.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah, no, sometimes I'll put it on my nip just because, like, I thought it would be interesting. And it is.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
hadn't thought of that,
it's like
so I'll have
something.
to try that.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to ask before? Oh, Chuck, how long have you been, what, do you remember your first time coming?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep, I remember. I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest of three boys, and the next older brother, who was 10 years older than me, I caught him masturbating in our room. He and I shared a room.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? And he was the kind of brother who liked to teach me things. So he said, well, come here and let me show you. So he showed me, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
Oh, my God.
So I thought about that for a while, and that actually probably happened when I was 10. So I thought about it for a couple of years and remembered I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And then one night, I was laying in my bed, and there was nobody else in the room, and I thought, I'm going to try that. So I did.
Try that lesson I learned.
So I just started, touching myself, and pretty soon I had an orgasm, and I was like, what in the hell was that?
Were you guys still?
Again and again.
Now, where was your brother when this happened?
By that time, he had left. He went off to college, so I was by myself.
Okay. Well,
nice. Free at last.
Yeah, more privacy. That's what I'm talking about.
All through high school, I probably did it 3-4 times a day.
Oh yeah, man! I still sometimes do it 3-4 times a day. It's not something you outgrow, I don't think. But yeah,
No,
12 years old. 12
you
years
don't
old.
outgrow it.
Yeah.
I'm 52, and you don't outgrow it.
There we go.
Yay. Toni, were there so I found sometimes just because I had a difficult time communicating, instead of telling Ben the things I had learned in the podcast session, I would just make him listen to the episode. Is that kind of why you would make Chuck listen instead of just relaying information about yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time with that too, and I'm working on being a little more verbal about it.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine if you were with your ex for 20 years, he couldn't, and you probably never told him. I mean, you never told him, right? Because you didn't start working on it until you started having sex.
And he could have cared less,
Right. That's what I feel
his last thought would be about anything that pleased me.
Yeah. That's so depressing.
Yeah. What an asshole.
He is an asshole.
What an asshole.
He's a real narcissist. So.
Did you ever talk to your friends about it, or?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Not ever. Nope.
That's why
I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
And that just says it all.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that we ever.
I couldn't imagine
talked about
your mother ever saying anything about sex.
No. My mom's only comment I ever heard was that she hated it, and it was just a mess, just something that runs down your leg. It's just
Oh God.
My poor mother, I'm quite sure, she's had 4 kids, and I'm sure she's never had an orgasm.
Well, I like what you told me just before this. If you could tell Ben what our text conversation was about.
Well, I texted her and told her that you took your mom out today.
Oh my God! I did. I had a very frank, candid conversation.
He comes home and he goes, "I talked to my mom about orgasms." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I've never spoken a word about sex with my mother, and she's
88.
She's going to be 88 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And her memory's really starting to go, and I'm starting to worry about her. But I took her out today, and I just thought, you know what? It's about time I talked to my mom about sex.
Yeah.
I just asked her. I said, Mom. Well, I kind of prefaced it with talking about Toni and me reigniting our sex life. And I said, and how nice it is. And she's like, oh, that's so nice that you can do that. And then when I told her that Toni had never had an orgasm before, she said, I never have either.
Wow.
During sex. She said, I never did either during sex. I had to do it myself.
Ah, there we go.
But my mom said, nope, your dad was a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, roll over, go to sleep kind of guy.
Uh-huh. So then she just had to stay up a little bit longer. It's great that you're able to finally have that conversation. I like being able to talk about it with people just because it makes it seem so much more accessible.
Yes.
So many people have a hard time talking about it. And
yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
Yeah, and talking about it sometimes the information can be very boring. That's why the podcast is so great. It's because it's packaged in this very fun, entertaining way, Rem, where you're learning the whole time, and it's stuff that people would normally not be comfortable saying to one another.
Yeah.
But that's exactly why Toni threw it on in the car. She said, you know what, this guy needs to get this information, and possibly I'm not going to convey it the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. Yeah. So the podcast is great because it
trick
really,
you.
Yeah, it's
trick you into learning.
It's just fun learning, and then and it opens up a dialogue, and that's important.
Absolutely, you just hit the nail on the head.
We have both learned so much. I mean, he's like, I'm a man, and I'm expected to know how to I'm expected to know all these things, and he goes, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
None of us do. None of us do, Chuck.
anything.
We're all just guessing, man.
Yeah.
We learn from men who don't know anything, and the women don't say anything, so
Correct.
we just continue to go on not knowing anything.
There we go. Yep.
I mean,
I told my mom today at the end of our conversation, I said, why do we wait now to talk about this, Mom? You should have told me about this years ago. I mean, that Dad, that things weren't so great with Dad, and maybe given me some tips.
Well, maybe if there had been podcasts back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
If the only radio show wasn't Fireside Chats.
Yeah, exactly. It's just difficult. Yeah, it was probably very difficult for her to even just start the dialogue.
And I bet it was like you were seen as like a gross, like improper parent at that time if you talked about it.
And that's what she said. She said, for me to talk to you about that would have been improper.
Right. Yeah. And like, she's a good lady, but whatever. I feel like we as humans are constantly defining what makes a quote unquote good person. And I think like this honest conversation, like you can do so much less fucking up if you have more information.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these podcasts have been, and I haven't even got through them. I'm not even halfway through.
Oh, don't even worry about it, Chuck.
So much. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate, like, literally Toni's like feedback is the thing, and I get messages like hers, and I'm like, oh my God, this just changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, the first message when you're like, I'm 50 years old, I've never had an orgasm. I was like, in what world? You guys, it's been so nice talking to you. I'm so glad that we could finally chat all together.
Me too.
Thank you again for listening to the podcast. Like, you brighten my day. I just have to ask, as you know, to be a courteous host. Toni, did you finish?
I did indeed.
Amazing. Chuck, how about you?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. They were great.
They're great.
Yeah, that was awesome talking to them. Interesting stories.
I know.
Like that brother thing was like, I was like, Chuck, that's not.
I wanted to be like, do you feel molested?
I was like, and he made you what? And he was like 20.
Was he 20?
Yeah, he was like 20.
He's the type of guy that likes to teach.
And I'm like, with what? And he
That
was
sounds like a weird
way to say you were molested.
Yeah.
They've lived a full life, those two.
One of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this podcast is to talk about your first time, because it's one of my favorite things in the entire world.
All right. Well, what do you want? What do you want me to say? What
Ben
do you
used
to
to do a thing called stronging up.
Okay. All right. Well, this is. I've asked people if this is strange, and
I didn't say strange.
I don't know, but I'm just saying. I'm prefacing
Okay.
it. I'm prefacing it with the fact that I've talked to other guys, and they used to do something very similar. But yeah,
Okay.
I think I would say I had my first orgasm probably when I was 6, maybe 7 years old.
Where?
And it was on the jungle gym. It was on the jungle gym at Smith Elementary School. And it was it was something that I kind of discovered while just like on like the pull-up bars or the uneven bars. Like jungle gyms when I was a kid were very like basic, like made out of metal, couple of bars. Yeah. And I was hanging from one of these bars, basically like flexing all of my muscles, trying to hold myself up, basically. And before you knew it, it was just like the most crazy great feeling all through my body. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is that? So as a kid, I just called it stronging up. My parents would catch me.
Because you were flexing.
Yeah,
so hard.
I was flexing so hard. My parents would catch. I could do it, hanging off of a jungle gym bar, or I could do it pressing myself up with my hands off of a piano bench. My dad used to play the organ, and I would hold myself up.
Really tight.
Really tight.
Stiff.
Yeah, really stiff.
Could you do
and
it
my dad
now
would go,
if
"What?"
you tried?
I think I would be able to do it now if nobody was in the room with me. The last time that I did it, that I can remember, I was in high school, and I was telling this story to the lacrosse team. I played lacrosse in high school, and I was telling it to the lacrosse team. We were all on this trip, and they were all like, "No fucking way, is that real?" And I ended up doing it in
front of them,
like in the hotel room. Like,
but in front of them?
Yeah, like with everybody around. But I mean, it's not. I'm fully clothed.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm just literally just like holding myself up.
But do you make
and
the
they're
same
like, what
face
the fuck?
that you do? Like,
I can't even imagine what my face looks like. It's probably very like it's like way more intense than I think.
because this is what it looks like when you do normally.
Nice. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
Like you want to do that in a room full of guys?
I didn't want to, but I felt it was important. I felt it was important to prove that I wasn't a liar. But yeah, and so I used to do that, and I would do it when I was really, really young, but nothing would ever come out or anything.
Okay.
Like yeah, you could only do it once. You could only strong up once.
How long is the refractory period?
Like how long does it take to refresh before I can strong up again? Oh man, when I was a kid, a couple hours on the jungle gym, you get 2 or 3 strong ups in while you're out there.
All right, that's not so bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I was, and it would be
recess is only like 60 minutes.
What? Where? No way. Recess was like 20 minutes.
No.
Anyway,
like a period.
No way. Yeah, an hour? No way were they letting me play for an hour. I'd be stronging up all over. I'd be busting in my pants with an hour recess. But yeah, so yeah, I would be doing it all over the place, and my parents would always be like, "What the hell is he doing over there?" And I'd say, "I'm stronging up." And my dad would go, "It's going to be strong." I didn't find out later.
Did you ever tell them?
No, God, no.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, no, but then and then masturbating, I think I was, God damn it. I know I was like in middle school. It must have been like in 6th grade or something like that. But yeah.
6th grade.
It didn't process in my brain until after I masturbated that's what I had been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah.
Can we talk about that thing that happened?
What happened? I don't know.
Your circumcision.
Oh yeah, we can talk about my circumcision.
God, yay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not Jewish, you guys.
I'm not Jewish.
He had a circumcision.
Yeah, I was circumcised when I was 15 years old. And it was not even the worst surgery I ever had.
Really?
Getting my tonsils out was way worse.
Why?
I don't know.
Just have like ice cream.
No, that's such a common misconception. Ice cream feels like glass shards.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know who came up with that lie, but someone to tell kids, I think you tell them, oh, you can eat all the ice cream you want.
Yeah.
But guess what? You can't fucking...
Can you have Jell-O or pudding?
You can't get fucking anything down. It was the worst, like scabs on the back of your throat. It's just like if anybody's had their tonsils out, it's the worst fucking surgery in the world.
Don't do it.
Worse than a circumcision at 15.
All right, so you had a circumcision at 15 because... You had chicken pox.
I had chicken pox when I was a kid, and one of the chicken pox ended up scarring
on the tip
on the tip of the hood.
Yeah.
And the hood wouldn't open up, and
so when you get boners,
when I would get boners, it just wouldn't.
Like it just started hurting at like 14, right?
Yeah, like right around when you would start getting like your first erection. That's when
But you'd already been jacking off.
Yeah, but it was uncomfortable right when I was like starting to pop boners when I was a kid. Yeah.
Because it wasn't letting it
because the skin wasn't pulling back. The head had never been exposed to daylight.
Had it done anything with girls at that point?
I remember a few of the first girls that I had shown it to, and they were like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh no!
So like my early sexual experiences, like you guys imagine a penis where the hood doesn't pull back, but it looks like the head's just trying to bust through.
It looks like
tiniest,
that guy in Men in Black who's got the farmer face on, pulling his face back.
Yeah, it does look kind of like that. It's really. It was not a pretty sight. It looked really weird, and yeah. Anyway, it had to be done. It was medically important.
But it had not been blown yet or anything pre-surge.
No, I tricked a couple of girls to put it in their mouth before surge.
How did you trick them, Ben?
Well, not trick them, but I mean, it looked literally like my dick looked so weird. Like medically something wrong with it. People were like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. So a lot of the girls,
they would just be down there.
They'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah, no, I'm not doing anything with that. But I think there was like one or two girls that I'd fooled around with before.
Was that was your surgery before the first time you did stand-up?
Before, yeah. Yeah, I did stand-up at the talent show my freshman year of high school, and I did...
So that's post-surgery?
Yeah, it was post-surgery. A different, more confident Ben.
So first you had to be like parents.
Oh, man, yeah, I remember that. I remember having to tell my mom that my penis was very uncomfortable, and... she wanted to see it, and I was like, "No way, lady. I'm not showing you this freak show."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, so they sent me to a urologist. They made me an appointment at a urologist to go get my dick looked at.
Yeah.
And then it was the dad of the hottest girl in my high school.
Oh.
And I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
Yeah, but they're under oath. They can't tell.
I don't know if that's true.
It is.
Well, we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had to tell my parents, and we got it looked at, and they said, "All right, we got to do something about this because it could rip. The skin could one day just rip, and that's going to be way more painful and no way to." Anyway, so they said we're gonna do a circumcision on you, and they said there's going to be 38 stitches. To attach the skin into the head of your penis. So I got 38 stitches into my dick. And then
looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, it does look great. The guy did a great job.
Great job.
I have no idea who did it, but they did good.
Dick guy.
I know, a great dick guy, man. He did a really good job. It looks great. You can still kind of see the stitch marks.
Yeah, it's nice. It's Franken dick.
Yeah, it's weird, but
it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Anyway, so then you started using it.
Yeah, well, it took forever to start using it because like the healing time was ridiculously long.
Like a month?
God, no. Way longer.
2 months?
I would say 3 months. Like I would say a month with the stitches.
On your back, or no?
I mean, it was wrapped up like a little mummy. It was, it was crazy.
Did you have a hole to pee?
No, you had to unwrap every time, and you had to clean it, and it was maybe that was worse than the tonsils.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Now that I think about it, it might have been worse than the tonsils.
Like every time I have a UTI, it's the worst time of my life.
I remember when I got the surgery because I had to be out of school for like 3 weeks, and then when I came back,
did you tell anyone why?
What's so fucked up about me is I came back and everybody said, "Ben, where are you?" And instead of saying I had penis surgery, I said I had ball surgery. I lied, but instead of
equally
disturbing,
lame.
Yeah, because I had to walk. Like it was like I remember going to the first one of the first football games that I could attend after I got the surgery done. I was walking very like stiff, And people were like, what happened? And I was so embarrassed about getting circumcised that the lie that I came up with is, I had ball surgery. So then it was like a thing. Does Ben have one ball? And I was like, why did I do that?
Why would I do that? Well, one of the lies that you told me once that I was just like, wait, what? was I'd asked when you lost your virginity, and you told me this like cute story about like you went on vacation and like there was this really hot girl at a water park and like you went back to your like your little rental hotel or whatever and like put down like a towel or something and like made love and you loved her forever after that. But the story, you guys, is not true.
It didn't happen.
It did.
It didn't happen. It's so strange. One of my best friends, Jeff LeCoq, will be heartbroken to know that story is not true because that has been for the longest time this story about how I lost my virginity because there was a girl in a water park.
Yeah.
And I was infatuated with her and we were talking on the phone and I was with my two best friends at the time and my parents in Canada. And I was talking a big game that I was going to go meet up with this girl. Mm-hmm. And I left to go meet up with the girl and never met up with her. But when I came back to tell my friends...
Wait, you never met up with her?
I never even met up with her.
You never even kissed?
No, we never even kissed. We talked on the phone.
That makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. So I came back and all my friends said, what happened? And instead of me saying, I got stood up, I was like, we totally had sex. Yeah. And then that was the story. That was the story of me losing my virginity. I've told that to so many people. The real time that I lost my virginity was like a year later. It was like a year later, and it was with a girl in my high school. And
but like Jeff never asked for like was he fucking at the time?
No, Jeff lost his. Sorry, Jeff, if you're listening, but Jeff lost his virginity real late, like 20 or something. Okay, like something. So nuts.
You didn't even have to like give your friends tips because they weren't.
Yeah, they had no idea. Yeah, my two friends were not banging.
What was another lie that you told was hilarious?
This will be the section of the podcast where Remy just brings up every lie that I've ever told her.
No.
Oh man.
You've been blown before you started lying about having sex though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is a lie that it's not a lie, but it's amazing. Ben and I both grew up being obsessed with this one particular Nick Swardson special. There are like 3 that are really good, but there was one, right?
There was one. I don't even know the name of it, but there was one that was on Comedy Central. And it was so
his half
funny.
Hour. His first half hour.
It was very funny.
And I downloaded it. It's like one of the reasons I do stand up. I downloaded it on Kazaa. I like memorized it. I could recite that shit all day.
Yeah, I had it memorized.
Ben actually performed it on his
the very first
talent
time.
show.
Yeah, the very first time I did stand up comedy, and we had a massive high school, thousands of kids, and the talent show was a really big deal. And I auditioned for the talent show, and I was like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. But I had no material of my own. How old were you when you were a freshman in high school? Like 13?
14, 15.
All right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hadn't written anything, but I could quote Nick Swardson's specials.
Yeah.
And
you didn't know that was like a rule.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a feeling that I was like, oh man, I really hoped I didn't get caught. Also.
Yeah. Okay.
But I remember going to the audition. And Jeff was with me. He came to the audition, blew the audition out of the water. Everybody was like, "This kid's amazing."
He's a genius.
Yeah, like the teachers that were like on like the thing were like they'd never seen this like Nick Swartzen special, so they were like, "This kid's fucking hilarious!" Like, oh my god, how old is he? Like, this is insane. So they put me on the talent show, and I ended up crushing the talent show, and I ended up getting some blowjobs out of being hilarious in the talent show freshman year. Everybody thought, oh, Ben's so goddamn funny.
I'm gonna blow that guy. And then I remember, like, one kid, this one asshole, let the cat out of the bag. He stumbled upon the special and made it his personal job to tell everyone what a phony I was. And I remember the blowjobs stopped.
And I remember the blowjobs dried up real quick. The blowjob fountain dried up real fast.
So funny.
Yeah, but I guess that wasn't even like those weren't even my first blowjobs. My first blowjob was in like 6th grade.
Is this the note?
this was the whispering. Okay, the girl.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is great.
A girl in my math class who was known to be. We had a slutty fucking middle school. Like all the
sex positive middle school.
Yeah, sex positive middle school. But I mean, by sex positive, I mean all the 6th graders were blowing the 8th graders.
Okay.
It's really weird.
Okay.
There was one girl that started the trend. This I won't say her name, but she started a trend. She blew an 8th grader, and all the 6th grade girls. It was like the coolest thing you could do. It was like
blow an 8th grader.
Blow an 8th grader.
Okay.
And just because that was cool, us 6th graders were getting some trickle down blowjobs. Like 'cause these 6th grade girls were aiming to blow 8th graders, but sometimes us 6th graders would get a little trickle down blowjob.
Gotcha. Sure.
Yeah. So I was hearing about this girl in my math class that was just blowing the whole school, and I was like, I gotta get in on this action. So I tapped her on the shoulder during math class and I said, hey, can we meet outside on the baseball field in the dugouts after school, and you give me a blowjob?
So brave.
And she said, you have to whisper it in my ear, and I'll do it. So then I said, will you meet me on the baseball field for a blowjob? She said, meet me after school in the baseball field.
That's amazing. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, I mean,
wish I was that
she's
assertive.
a good egg. She's a good egg too. I'm still
know
Facebook.
this bitch?
I'm still Facebook friends with her. I haven't seen her in person in 13 years, but from what I can tell, she's got a good head on her shoulders.
She gives good head.
I can't really remember it, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty rad.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Happy for you.
Yeah, man.
Do you remember when I first said I hadn't come?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't remember when the information
I don't
was
remember
divulged.
telling you. But had you ever thought before we started like working on it, or I started talking about it, that like something felt off?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it ever felt off. I was just thought that you would either say something, and if you weren't saying anything, then everything was chill.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember when you first brought it up, but yeah, for a while, I don't think you brought it up.
No.
Yeah, so I probably just thought I was just killing it.
But you said you could tell.
I mean, I was just kind of helping Chuck out there. I mean, unless you're like squirting or something, like I don't think I would be able to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with Chuck on the moisture. I don't know about the whole.
Yeah, but here's the thing is you can get wet and not be coming.
I know, but I've seen it on your blankets. When you come, it's like a fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's
different. How I would know.
No, but that's a different thing entirely. I feel like that's like, oh my God. Like you always know then.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But that's post Remy orgasming, not pre.
Yeah.
Pre would just be like, all right, I assume.
Yeah, I wasn't doing any assuming. I was just saying I would think that if you weren't having the most fun that you could have, you would say something or tell me to do something else or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think it's better now?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I agree.
How could it not be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have anything else to say?
Yeah, let's go smoke something, and let's me and you go on a date or something. Let's go see a movie or get some dinner or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, actually, no. I have to drive out to the Hamptons so I can do an interview in the morning.
You're
You wanna
leaving
come
tonight?
with me? Yeah.
No, I don't want to go to the Hamptons tonight.
All right. Well, I have to come back before my show tomorrow anyway, so.
Jesus.
I know.
That's really happening?
That's really happening.
All right, I guess I'll go home.
Okay. This has been just the best.
Yeah, you're a great host, Remy. This is a great show.
You're a great boyfriend, Ben.
Thanks. You're a great girlfriend, too.
And I love you, and I love Chuck and Toni
Yeah,
for
Chuck and Toni were great.
being the fun fucking weirdos that they are.
Yep.
Everybody else, I mean, a lot of you do write me, but if you have thought about writing me and then you hesitated or whatever, like, write me. I like it. I like to hear from you. Ben likes it because then my day's better. And
Yeah, she's more personable. She loves, she's in a better mood when you guys reach out. So reach out to her more.
Yeah, it's fun. Will you tell the listeners where they can follow you online?
Sure, you can. We run it like Remy said. We run a great show called Fat Baby. It's you can follow us on Instagram at Fat Baby Live, and my Instagram's at Benny D NYC.
Woohoo! Ben, I have to ask you, did you finish?
I did finish.
Yay! Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time. Well, how come?
It's not you, it's me.
Goodbye.
I try so hard
Goodbye.
to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Okay, this is a request. I've never done a request, but this is my first request from a fan in China, and she asked me to say a phrase because it's her favorite thing to hear in an American accent. So, Allie, this is for you. The phrase is, it's the cat's pajamas. Did you like that? It's the cat's pajamas. I hope that was to your satisfaction. So if you have a request, write me. We're also going to put up extras on the Patreon with Ben and maybe a post-coitus with Ben. So check it out at Patreon, patreon.com/how